Hey everyone, Jesse here for 3Prong Gaming, and in the last episode we set up our hours, minutes, and the AM, PM for our user interface. So when you play, it updates our user interface and no longer has to print to the screen and scroll down. So this episode we're going to set up our month, day, and year. Now, as I mentioned, let's go ahead and close these out. We don't need those open anymore. As I mentioned in the last episode briefly, there is a bug in 4.9. So this isn't, at least for the month, this isn't going to work, and I'll explain it in just a minute. But we'll still set it up so it'll output something until the bug is fixed, until hopefully there's some other bugs with 4.9. Nothing too major. This one is kind of a big deal, but hopefully they make a hotfix pretty soon. And so let's go ahead and get this one started. What we need is go ahead and grab our game date, drop that in here, set that as a get. Go ahead and get the index number 1. This is the month. So remember, month we set in index 1. Go ahead and drag off of this. Now we need to subtract integer minus integer. We need to subtract 1. Remember when we made the enumeration in the last episode, how I pointed out that it is a zero-based list. So what we need to do is we need to get the game date. So if it's month 10, we need to subtract 1 from that so we can get the ninth list, the ninth number in the list. All right, so now what we need to do with this is we need to convert this to a byte. So 2 byte. And then from the byte, actually let's just right click here and click month. The name of our enum was month names enum. What we need is we need the literal enum month. Select that. Now we get this list right here. And this still needs to be converted, but just take this and drag this into there and it'll create the convert node for us. Now this is where the bug's at. The bug is not just in this node, it's elsewhere too. It's with the enums. When it calls it out, when it takes this in and turns it back out right here, because we'll have to take this return value and convert it. When it converts from an enum to a byte, it's not working right. Like I said, this is a zero-based list. It's supposed to be, in our list, we've got 12 entries, so 0 through 11. But everything is running in even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, all the way up to, for us, it would be 24. However, it doesn't quite, we can't just compensate for that and account for that because once it gets past the total number, so like I said, we've got 12 items in our list. If we were to enter anything above that, it would stop at 12. It would only show us July, because July would be, for this bug, it would be considered number 12. And yeah, I already had this episode recorded once a couple days ago, and I thought it was my mistake somewhere, but I did some research, and Ben Halliday from Epic staff, he told me that it is a bug in the system. He's entered a bug report, so hopefully we'll get the fix for it soon, but we'll set this up anyway, so when the bug is fixed, all we have to do is plug it in. So from this, all we need to do is we need to go to string, because we can't do, I don't think we could do to text. Let's try that. To text from byte. We can. What did I? In my original, I have it just going to a string and then to text, but apparently you can go to text. And then that's it. So like I said, this won't actually work. This is get month. Let me show you here. Compile, save it. We're going to get an error. Well, it'll just say none. It says 11. I don't know why it says 11. But, oh, that's why I put, okay. Let's go to string. To string. I believe that's why I did it. And then to text, go ahead and delete this one. That is why I think I had that in there. Compile it, save it, play it, and it's still showing us 11. I don't know why it's showing us 11. What the heck did I do wrong? I don't think I did anything wrong. It's just, it's bugged right now. So we've got that. Go ahead and disconnect that. All we're going to do now, though, just to, oops, Control Z, accidentally deleted that, Alt click. That's set up. That's pretty much all we need to display the names, but we're going to do game date, get index 1. We'll just display a number like so. Take this and put that in there, and it'll convert it to text for us. Now we should just get a number and go ahead and play it. There we go, month 12. That's why it was showing 11. It should have been showing the name, but which is odd because it was showing me when I did this the other day. It just showed me none. It was a wrong value, but you could see it just switched over to January. I never reset the default values in there from a couple videos ago when we created that and tested it. So that's it for now for the game date. We'll come back once I get the hotfix and we will set all that up to display properly. But yeah, so this just takes a value, takes the value from game date. I'll give you a second to look at it while I explain it. Just takes the value of the month and game date, which is a number, minuses 1 from it, converts it into a byte. The byte converts it into an enum and pulls from this literal enum list and gets that index value in there, and it will display our name when it's all working accordingly. That's where I'm gonna have to play with that when I'm off camera. So let's just jump right into game day. Enough of my babbling. This one's relatively simple as well. And so will year. We just need to take the game date, get it. You've probably figured this out. Get. We need index value of 0 because our day is 0. And then just take and plug this in here. It'll automatically add the toText from integer node right there. And that's it for that one. Compile it, save it. Let's go to year. And this is going to be the same thing, only a different index value. So again, game date, get. Draw off of this, get. Now we need index value of 2 because it is the third one on our list. Drag it, drop it, and we are ready to go. Compile it, save it. Didn't compile, compile it, save it, play it. There we go. 12:31:1. It looks all funny because, well, we didn't put any spacers in there, but watch it go over. It'll go 1, 1, 2. There we go. And just for now to get it, well, I don't know if I want to do that. That's good enough now. Hopefully they get that hot fix out there. If you don't want that, what you can do is you can just come in here and add another text block in between this and this. Maybe what I'll do after, let's see, where's that at? Maybe I will do it just to show you guys how to do it. Date box. Let's close the time box. We just need date box September. We need another text. Go ahead and drop that in between September and the spacer. Grab another spacer here and drop it in between the September and the new text block. This spacer, we'll just put a space of, I don't know, we'll say 1, I guess is good, a padding of 1. Change this text block. We're just going to make this a /. And we need to change its font size. I believe we did this, it's 13. So we need to change, oops. Dang it, come on now. There it is. Change its font size to 13 as well. Come over here and let's just change this one to 13, or change this one from a comma to a /. Hit enter. Let's give this one a padding of 1 also. Oops, Control Z, we don't want a padding of 1. We'll keep that as 0. It's a spacer that needs to be a padding of 1. I've got it as padding of 4. We'll change it to 1. Compile it, play. Let's see how this looks now. There we go. So now at least we got a little bit of a look in there. Watch it flip over. Da-da-da-da-da. And it didn't flip over. Why didn't it flip over? Let's watch that one more time. There it goes. That was weird. It didn't flip over. Anyways, Okay, let's go ahead and set up, let's set up a couple on-click buttons. This video, we're not going to set up any functionality to this yet, but let's just click our on-click events. So select the button. You can either select the button from just clicking it or come here. Button 1 is what we named that. See right here, button 1, on-clicked. We want the on-clicked. Hit plus there. Let's jump back into the designer. Grab this other button, make sure it says button 2 up there, and on clicked. So there we go, button 1 and button 2. And if you remember in the last episode, we made our interface. So let's jump into the interface here. We need to create a new function, and we will call this one, where is it at here? Building. Simple. Now what this will need, we'll actually need an input of this. And why does that say actor? We need to change that. Sorry, I was looking at my other one. We don't have the blueprint set up yet, so let's just call this one main building. Hit enter. Go ahead and make it just an actor for now. Come on. Actor. Find actor. We need to make this a class reference. Let's go ahead and click class, and we'll change this once we get the blueprint. We'll change this to something other than actor. We'll change it to the name of our blueprint, and we're not going to make an output for now, just for a couple reasons. So which means when we utilize this, we will get an note. But go ahead and right click. We've already implemented our interface into the user interface. So let's call that function, which, what do we call it? We called it building. This one's going to send out a message. So unclick context sensitive, find the message, and there we go. We need 2 of these. Go ahead and select this and hook this up. Now what we're going to end up doing with this one, once we get the blueprint set up, is for whatever these buttons will correspond to, the apartment and the restaurant, we'll have blueprints set up for those, and we want the class out of those. So we'll just set these to those blueprint classes once we set those up. And that is going to be about it. Let's just go in here, compile it, save it. We need a target here. Let's grab our commander. And actually, I want to rename this commander variable name. Let's call this just controller reference. Just for simplicity reasons, compile it and save it and drag this in like so. And we could just plug this into both of them like that. Compile it, save it, those errors are gone. Okay, and then we go into our blueprints folder, grab our camera pawn controller, and let's just double check and make sure in our create HUDs that since we changed a few things on that, it disconnected this pin. So just hook that back up there, and main class UI HUD, that's all set up. All right, compile, save it. Let's go into the event graph here, and just because we can, and this is a pretty short video, we're only approaching 14 minutes here. So right click and put building, and oh, that's why it's not there. We need to implement it. Class settings, implement our interface. There it is. Compile it so it'll find it. Now we right click and do building. Now we've got the add event. That's what we want. We don't want to call the function. We want add event. Select that in there. Compile it, save it. Let's see if it gave us that weird note. It didn't. That's weird. I don't know why it didn't. It did it in some of my other testings. Anyways, that is it. That's all we're going to do in this episode. Keep it relatively short and sweet. Should be about 15 minutes right about now. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor. Go down and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Should be there on the page. Check out one of the other videos playing on the screen right there. And until the next video, peace.